Now, this video isn't going to be one of those videos that you think it is, alright? This video is not taking sides. It's not a cuck support of feminism, nor is it a pro-men's rights video either. Men's rights. Now, this is just a video addressing feminism, alright? So let's do it together, shall we? Google the word feminism right now. Actually, I don't need to wait, because if you are watching my video, then you're probably doing it as you're watching my video. Now, what do we find when we Google the word feminism? This definition: the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. Now, some of you may start nitpicking the wording, that, equality can't be possible since everybody's different, and, women already have rights, and yada, 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 yada. I don't care about all that extra stuff. Remember, the definition is just a starting point. Now, the basic idea is that in women's advocacy, women shouldn't be denied opportunities based on the fact that they are women. Can we agree to that? If we can, then let's move on. And if you can't, then you might as well just stop watching the video right now. In fact, you probably already stopped watching the video. Because here's the thing. If you aren't watching to listen, then you aren't watching to further a discussion. You're watching to take sides. And this channel is not about taking sides. It's about trying to find out the reality of things. Now that's established, let's just keep scrolling down the Google page, and what do we find? More commonly asked questions, which is just a rehashing of the original question of what is feminism. Thank you, Google. You suck sometimes. And it's overly redundant, to be honest, so we'll just keep scrolling down. And in my Google page, because I'm pretty sure everyone's Google page is a little bit different nowadays, we have the Wikipedia as the first one that pops up, a Forbes article under that from 2017, the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition, the Britannica Encyclopedia definition, the International Women's Development Agency website. So again, a little bit of a wide range. But we're going to be looking at the Wikipedia account, because as flawed as it is as a sole source of information, it is certainly a great stepping off point. That whole beginning of the journey, stuff. And what do we see when we click on the Wikipedia account? A lot of information, to say the very least. And also, to say the very least, feminism is complicated. If you're really interested about learning about feminism and not just to take sides, basically feminism in its proper context, where do you start? Do you start with the history? Well, to be honest, that thing is pretty long. Ideology. There's just so much different ideology that, you know what? How about culture? Politics. Not to mention all the writers and influencers nowadays. I mean, where do you start? Do you have to read it all? And then not to mention, that's just looking at the feminism side. What about the anti-feminism side? Because that's a part of it too. Do you have to read through all of those? I mean, can't I just watch the FX show? I mean, you could. But we all know that's not going to tell you the whole story. So, do you see the problem, people? Do you know where it is? No? Okay. I guess I'll have to, quote-unquote, mansplain it to you. The problem with feminism is the assumption that whoever the audience is, they know what you're talking about, right? You might be thinking, well, how could they not know? And the proponents against feminism might be thinking, you're better off not knowing. And that is an issue. And as simple as the Wikipedia page is, it shows that there is a lot to go over. And it certainly isn't the monolithic movement that we can see. It can be contradictory, very tribal, and ultimately a hot mess. Now, for those of you who are hardcore Nazi feminists, you might be thinking, what would a straight white male know about being a woman? Or, I can't even talk about this because I am not a woman. And to that I say, fuck off. Because guess what? Because we live in a society. Duh. And society is made up of people of all sorts. And the ability to communicate with each other is required for society. So the big issue is that there isn't really a way for feminism to be put in its proper context and easily accessible to the majority of the public. Because if it's easily accessible, it's going to leave out a lot of context. And if you put in the proper context, it's certainly not easily accessible. And for the people who disagree, I have one simple question. All right? And if you can answer this question, then I will tip my hat off to you and I will consider your arguments above my own. But if you can't, well, that's where the fun lies. The question is, are strippers an example of female empowerment or just a product of the male patriarchy? I bet you're all fighting right now. Enjoy! This has been Tabula Rasa, and today's puzzle piece was a part of the whole feminism block.